Hey fellow beaters, it's JP and I'm back with the tutorial. I've decided to go with the name Vintage Dreams, so thank you for all of you who submitted names on the Facebook page. Every name was great and I'm going to save them for another tutorial. And so here's the bracelet. This component is each individual component. So this bracelet's made in components. So each component's about an inch, maybe slightly under an inch. So my bracelet is 6 inches with the clasp. So I made 5 components and ended up with about 5.5 inches. And then the clasp added up the extra 1/2 inch that I needed for a 6-inch bracelet. So just to give you an idea. Now for the end components, you're going to need 12 plus this one here. So 13 of the 4mm beads of the bicones and 4 superduos. And then of course the middle component requires 4, and then, or the connector piece, and then again this individual component by itself without the end bicone there is only 12. So just to give you an idea of how many you'll need. So, you know, just calculate 15 per component. That includes the middle pieces and you should be good to go. All right, so let's talk about colors. So my superduos are bronze, but is what it says here, but I think they're rainbow iris. Let's see, is the color. So if you were to look them up on, because this tube was purchased from Michael, so this is what they kind of give you, and it's just this bronze. But I believe the actual color is something like metallic gold iris, something like that. So if you were to look for it on one of the online stores, that's what it would be. Then I have 4mm bicones. These are 2 different colors. You of course don't have to do two different colors, and you can use any 4mm beads. You can also do this with fire polish. So here's a sample piece that I was playing with, and I did this one with red fire polish and white superduos. And of course, I originally did the tutorial with made earrings with this. So let me get these over here. So here's the earrings, which is exactly how the end component is made, but I will have the link to the earring tutorial for you too, if you just wanted to make earrings. So as I was saying, 4mm bicones or any 4mm bead that you want. So the color of the bicones is fuchsia, full AB, which is the purple here. And my green are the emerald full AB. And last are my 11s. So the color for the 11s are Galvanized Dark Mauve, and these are from Aura Crystals, and they're Miyuki. You will need 6-pound fireline, or you know, whatever you have, but I would say start with about 20 inches, maybe 2 feet, 24 inches. So that way you have enough thread to make the component and make reinforcements, and then also make the connection. So anyway, that's it. Let's get started. All right, so to get started, what you're gonna do is pick up 4 11s and 4 of the bicones, just like this, and then we're gonna tie a knot. And this is what you should get. You should get a nice ring. And then we're gonna go into the bicone and just pull the knot into the bicone. And then what you're gonna do is pick up an 11, a superduo, and an 11. And actually, I have one more step. So we're coming out of the bicone. You actually want to make sure you come out of the 11. So this is where you should be. So then pick up these 3 beads. So it's 11, superduo, 11. And then just go back around the 11. So some of these seed beads I have are a little bit clogged, I guess, because of the coating on them, and they don't go past the needle. So they get stuck here at the eye of the needle. So I'm gonna just switch that out and pick up another one and then try again. So here I am coming out of my 11, and I'm just gonna go back through them like so, and you should get this. And it's going to be loose, so you want to actually go back through all the beads one more time to tighten this up. So here's what it looks like, and it's very loose and floppy, and so I'm just going to go through it. So go through, and you have to go through the beads one at a time. So go through the 11, and this is to help remove any slack in the thread. That's why we're doing this one at a time. And then give the thread a good tug so it tightens everything as we go. All right, and now we're back, and you want to go through this 11 that's between the bicones. And then through the bicones, I'm just going to turn this upward, and then out of the next 11, and then we're just going to repeat that step again. So once again, it's going to be 11, superduo, 11, back around the 11, and then you just go through the beads again to reinforce, so one at a time. And through this 11 and the bicone. So there I am. And so this is what your piece should look like. Now go ahead and go through, come out of that 11, and we're gonna do this. So we just gotta do it 2 more times, and then we'll be good. So again, 11, superduo, 11, back through that 11, reinforce the beads to make them nice and secure, and through. Okay, and now I just need to go through the the 11 and the bicone, and then come out of my last 11 here. So last time, 11, superduo 11, and back around the 11 where the thread is coming out. And reinforce. Oh, looks, nope, we're good. I thought maybe the thread was wrapped around, but it's not. It's just the tail thread. Then down. And through the 11, and then the bicone. All right, so I accidentally went into that 11. I don't want to do that. I actually want to follow the thread path I've already established. So I'm going to go through the 11 that's between the bicones first, then up the next 11 here that is connected to the superduo, then through the superduo, And now I'm going to switch to the second hole of the same superduo. All right, now for the next step, I'm going to add some more bicones. So it is going to be 5 beads you're picking up. 11, bicone, 11, bicone, and 11. And then go into the next superduo here. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and trim the tail thread. Get that out of the way. All right, so you're going to repeat that 3 more times, so all the way around. So again, it's 11, bicone, 11, bicone, and 11. So, oops, 2 11s. There you go. So 5 beads and into the superduo. So really simple step. And again, 11, bicone, 11, bicone, and 11. Oh, I grabbed another superduo or another 11 that doesn't want to go past. See, it's stuck. I have an owl, but this is just faster to just do this. I'm setting them aside, culling them out. Okay, one more time. 11, bicone, 11, bicone, and 11. So this is our last one that we need to add. So go through the superduo, then continue through the 11, the bicone, and come out of the 11 that's between the 2 bicones. And you want to give this a little, you want to give it a good tug so you can see it starts to bow inward, and that's what you want. So for the next step, you're going to pick up 3 11s, and you're going to go into this 11 over here. So make sure it's the one that's between the bicones. So it's going to be that one. So go ahead and go through that. And you want to pull everything towards the center. So it's going to look really weird, but what you want is that the superduo kind of pops forward like that. And then repeat. So pick up 3 11s. And then grab the 11 that's between the bicones. There you go. And again, 3 11s. Grabbing that one there. And last time, all you got to do is connect it to that first one there. So that should be easy to see there, that where it needs to go. So, but just pick up the 3 11s. And we're back to where we started in this round. So just go through it. And this is what it looks like. It's a little loose, so I'm gonna actually go through the beads again to reinforce. So you're just gonna go all the way around. You're not gonna add any beads now. Just go through all of the seed beads, all the 11s. And you should be able to get through at least 4 beads at a time. So, and this is the back of the component. So now I've gone around all the way. And so this is what the back is going to look like, and then there's the front. All right, so now to get out of here. So you're coming out of the bead, an 11 that's between the bicones. You want to make sure that's what you're doing. So this one's connected to the seed beads, but it's also connected to the bicone. So go ahead and go through the bicone. And then this next step is actually only to be done for the end component. So you don't need to do that for the middle components, but if you're making the end component, this is what you're gonna do. So at this point, this is what all the middle components will look like. So you would tie, normally if you're making a middle component, you're just gonna tie off at this point, and you wanna leave extra thread to add to make the connections later. But since this is an end component, I also wanna do a few extra things. So pick up 3 11s and a bicone. Yep. Then pick up 4 11s and bring the thread down just like this. And what you're going to do is actually we're going to make the little diamond pattern that I always make, because this is where the jump ring's going to go for the ear wire loop. And so I'm going to go through the first 11. I'm going to ignore everything else and just go through that first 11. And make sure you're as close to there's no thread showing or no slack in the thread. So you should get that. Then pick up an 11 and go into the next 11. Repeat, pick up another 11, go into the next one, and pick up an 11 one last time, and you're going to go into this next 11 here. So there's a diamond, doesn't quite look like a diamond. We're going to fix that in just a second. So now what you're going to do is just reinforce. So to reinforce, you're just going to go back through the 2 11s. Make sure you can see that. So I'm going to move my thumb. So here's where the thread is coming out, right there. So just go into these 2, just like so. Then go through these next 2. And these 2 here. And then this last one here is sitting, so there's going to be 2 seed beads that are sitting right on top of the bicone. So as you can see, let me turn this the right way. There it is. So what I'm going to do now is just go through the bicone. And if you want to, reinforce this more, you can. But there it is. And then pick up 3 11s. And you're going to go into the bicone over here. So you see how that's going to line up now. Ah, I got another seed bead. Ugh, I wish there's a little pile that I've got over there. I imagine if I found a smaller needle, I could probably work with them, but I don't want to have to deal with that right now of switching out needles. So I'm just going to pop out the seed bead. That doesn't work. Anyway, so go ahead and go through that bicone. So, and this is the end component here. And there it is. So it's a little loose. I'm going to tighten this up here in a second, but that's what it should look like at the end of your bracelet. So your jump ring would go here, and then you can continue building on the other side. All right, so I'm actually going to go ahead and go back around. So the easy way to go back around so we can reinforce this one more time, just because I want to reinforce these sides, is to, since we're coming out of that bicone and this is from the back, just go through all these beads here. So there we go, the seed beads. And then the next set. And once again. Okay, so we're back around. So now I'm at this bicone, so I can go up, go through these beads and come down on the other side, and that'll give it one last reinforcement. So up the bicone. Then the 3 11s. Up the bicone here. Go through the diamond component. So you don't actually have to make the diamond. You can always just make it a loop and just have, like, I don't know, 7 to 9 seed beads if you don't want to make the diamond shape. You could also use like a wire guard here. So you could put the wire guard right there instead, and then use the jump ring. So whatever your preference. It's maker's choice. And so we're back around. I'm just going to go through this last 11 here. Through the bicone. And now it should be a little more strength to it. And this is also what I did for the pair of earrings. So this is what the earrings would look like if you want it. And you could also, if you want a little bit longer earrings, you could add more seed beads to add length too. But I think this is good for the bracelet component. And now we need to get to we just need to get to the side over here. So we're in place. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through this bicone. And the 11. Then go up the bicone. Actually, go ahead and make a half-inch knot. So I'm just gonna make a couple of knots before. We're not tying off officially yet because we'll be connecting each component individually, but now I'm going through the seed bead. So I went through the bicone after I made my half-inch knot. So through the bicone and the 11. And now the bicone. And then through the 11, the superduo and the 11. So now you are in position, so you can just leave your thread and you're in position you have that extra little bit of thread to make the component. So you want to make all your components, so go ahead and make your 2 end pieces, and then make the middle components. So that's all you got to do. So just repeat this for the other end, and then make the ones in the middle, and I'm just repeating myself. So here is part of it. So I would go ahead and I'm going to connect this. So the way I'm going to connect it is the next piece that I'm going to show you how to do. All right, so now to go ahead and connect your pieces together. So I had made this originally to test out if this is going to work. So this is why I have this here. But you wouldn't necessarily have them connected this way, or you could. It's up to you. And so you want to make sure you're coming out of that 11 that's next to the superduo here, and then pick up the bicones. I'm going to match it to the colors. So green first, because that's going to be this is the green side and then the purple side. And I am going to then pick up this side. So I've got 2 bicones, a bicone, 11 bicone. And then on this component, I'm going to go through the 11, the superduo, and then come out of this next 11 there. So there's one part. Now for the other side, I'm just going to start with the other color bicone since we're on the purple side. So grab my purple, the 11, and the emerald. And I'm going to keep this all loose just so you can see. So we're back here. So you're going to go through these 3 beads again. So it's 11 superduo. And 11. This is what you should get. Now go ahead and we're going to reinforce. So just go through all the beads again. So back through the bicone, the 11 and the bicone, then through the 11, superduo 11, and then back through the bicone, 11 bicone, and then we're back where we started. So note that I went through 11, superduo 11, and then also the bicone. Give this all a really good tug. So you want to make sure that's nice and tight. Now pick up 3 11s coming out of that green bicone. So you want to pick up 3 11s and then just go through the bicone. So you're skipping over the 11 that's between them. And this is what you get. Then go through again the superduo 11, or the 11 superduo 11, and then the bicone. Ew, it really wrapped around there. All those bicones. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to add our 3 on this side. So pick up 3 and go into just the bicone. Okay, now back out of all, or through the 11, the superduo, and the 11. Get through this 11 here. It's not cooperating. Let's turn it this way so I can work upward. And then through the bicone. And now just tie 1/2 inch knots. You're actually going to tie off. And so I'm just going to go through the 11 here in the center and then tie some knots. And then go through the bicone and the next 11. And I'm going to tie another knot here between the 11 and the superduo. And then bicone and $11 and another knot. Okay, and then just go through a few beads and trim the thread. grab the trimmer. Okay, and here we go. So there's our bracelet, and you're just gonna keep going, and you're just gonna make your components and connect them, just like I showed you. Pretty simple. It looks a lot more fancier than it looks fancier, but it is not that difficult to make. So, and I have my ruler, so I wanted to just kind of get an idea of the length of the bracelet here. So with the 3 components and just sort of have the ruler here at the edge, we're at 3 inches. So basically you're needing a component an inch, depending on the length you need. So if you need for example, a 6-inch bracelet, you probably want 6 components. Okay, so keep going, and I'll see you at the end. All right, here it is. I've completed my bracelet. So I ended up going with 5 components, and with my clasp, I ended up with a 6-inch bracelet that works perfectly for my wrist. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.